Friends, family, lovers alike, as we continue to ride this wave of light here together, we are, of course, entering into the second quarter of the moon cycle, the second part of the medicine wheel. And so it's a chance to transition into this part of ourselves that relates to the adolescent stage of life, relates to our emotional body as we are coming into feeling more and more fire of the full moon. It's also in relation to the season of the summer, and in the north hemisphere, the direction of the south. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, it'd be the direction of the north, as it is closer to the equator where there's more fire. And so the element of the fire that burns within all of us is something that we have been learning to honor more and more in the sacredness of this life. And yet in many ways, our culture, our society has been suppressing this fire, or asking us to suppress this fire for many reasons, so we can look at the different aspects of coming to honor, respect, and understand our emotions, for example, where a lot of times emotions have been suppressed for many reasons in terms of our inability to express our emotions with others, to shed tears as they may come, to express feelings of anger even, which can be expressed in healthy ways. So here now to recognize and acknowledge that all emotions are welcomed and are really important and valuable, not only to experience, but to express and to release in healthy ways. So our emotions are, of course, guiding us home as well. If we're feeling something, it's telling us something. And so listening to our emotions, understanding them, is so vital as much as it is to express them and to release them. And so emotions naturally come up for us. And in our ability to welcome these emotions, we naturally release them. Rather than trying to avoid emotions and push them away and therefore allow them to build up in us, and we try to suppress them or we try to disconnect from our emotions. Instead, we want to embrace our emotions and what we're meant to learn from them, because they're teaching us such valuable things. So in our stage of adolescence, and we'll feel this fire burning within us more and more, it's also our desire to express ourselves. It's our desire to not only express ourselves freely, but also to recognize the passion that we have as humans to create life, that we have this ability, and also the importance of honoring this ability we have to create life. So it's in relation to our sexuality in parts as well, and coming to understand and honor the sacredness of sexuality and the power that we have in our sexuality, and what it means to be truly liberated in our sexuality, in terms of not necessarily needing to act upon every single desire we have sexually, but instead being able to harness this power of sexuality within ourselves, and sometimes in relation to others, as we may come together to celebrate this union of life in sacredness as well. So we also have, of course, as adolescents, our desire and ability to express ourselves artistically, to express the talents, the gifts that each each and every one of us have in terms of our ability to create artistically or to recognize life itself as an artistic creation, almost like a book you're writing or a story, a movie, a film that you are living. This is the ultimate form of artistic creation, this life that you're living. And of course, recognizing the power that we have in our hearts as human beings to have a positive impact on those around us, not just in our artistic expressions, but in every single thing we're doing. No matter how we're living, we are impacting the world around us, and therefore there is great purpose to us and every single thing we do because it ripples outward. So we want to create a life. We want to recognize the power we have to impact those around us, and recognize there is, of course, great purpose to our lives. As we have been created out of love, we are beings of love, here to express this love in many different ways. And the more that we are committed to this life of service, recognizing this purpose, we see how joyful, how simple life can be in our ability to express this love with others. So here we're learning to express this love again in healthy ways, and to express it beyond any conditions in which we are giving love in order to receive love, but instead recognizing in giving love, we naturally receive so much more in that gratification of giving. And of course, it's not just a matter of outwardly giving this love, but recognizing to give ourselves this love, to in fact receive this love from life itself and from all around us. So we are growing in this love and who we are, and we are freely expressing this love more and more. And as we are recognizing our emotions and anything that's coming up for us and able to release them, we are becoming more and more pure in this power of love in which we are, so that things like anger and resentment of the past is no longer blocking our hearts and our ability to give love or to receive love. We're freeing ourselves to do this. So there are many aspects of acknowledging and honoring the sacred flame of creation that's burning through us and through everything in life. And so this week we want to really focus this energy and attention towards the things that are most important, most fulfilling for you in your life. Ideally, each and every day and each and every moment. What is it that's igniting your hearts? What is it that is fueling the passion within your life? Is the energy and focus that you're typically having in the direction in which you're wanting to be heading in, or are you being distracted and pulled in many other directions, whether it's because of sexual desire or because of feeling obligated to do things for other people that may not be aligned, may not be serving your greatest desires and needs? So we want to realign our lives more and more with the passion that we have, with the purpose that we're living with. And we want to be able to breathe this love that we are, to let it flow through us, to receive it as we inhale and as we exhale, to extend it outwardly and notice how it is flowing infinitely here, now, and in each moment in time, so that we may fully honor this life that we are living and this gift that we've been given. So this second week, as we're moving towards this full moon, we're also in a bit more movement, a bit more action, a bit more outward expression possibly. So if you're feeling stuck, it's really important to get your body moving and doing something active here in this stage so that the energy starts flowing more and more. So this may include doing some walking, this may include doing some running, may include doing some dancing, whatever inspires you, following those inspirations step by step. So this becomes also a big part of the practice, is that whenever you're inspired to do something, you receive an inspiration, no matter what it may be, encouraging you to act on that inspiration, to follow through with it, not knowing what it's going to lead to. Sometimes we're inspired to do some seemingly crazy things, and yet just following through that inspiration, we see what happens in return. It's always such an incredible miracle. If you're inspired to help somebody on the street, or simply stop and speak to them on the street, or to paint something, or to write something, whatever it may be, follow through with that inspiration, see what comes in return. Maybe nothing at all, but just the fact that you're willing to follow through with that inspiration shows so much. As we see, the more we follow through that inspiration, which essentially is coming from spirit, from creation, and from our observations, the more we follow through with that, the more we may be given in response. So we're developing that relationship with Spirit. Spirit asks me to do this, I do that. Before you know it, Spirit trusts me to ask me to do this and ask me to do that. And so what we want to do here is get in the flow of creation, okay, of expression, and to recognize that we are free to express this beautiful love that we are, and to experience it fully and completely here now in this moment and each day of this life. May we live it to the fullness.